Hi YouTube, my name is Eve the Weave, and I'm back with a whole bunch of like different clips from different interviews and different text messages. Like 54 Keys got the text messages from April 29th to the 30th. So thanks to Miss Keys, 54 Keys, you can go on her YouTube. I'm gonna put some of the text messages up from Darian to Maleah to Darian to Brittany. Those text messages from the 30th, from the 29th to the 30th. Then I'm gonna go and put some of the text messages up from the sister to Brittany. All of them is just crazy. I'm gonna tell you the reason why. Because Leak You, I didn't realize in the video. I'm gonna show y'all in a minute. But let's just go. Let's just go to these text messages real quick. I'm gonna try to pull them up on my big screen. So let's just see.
Shit, we about to break these text messages down.
Like a shotgun.
What we gonna do? And I'm looking for Team 54 to pick this shit apart. Now, I'm gonna show y'all some shit I found. And it might be minor information or it might be major information to the case. I don't know. But yeah, we're gonna pick this shit apart. So let's get into this shit. Ride with me. So these text messages start at 9:42 a.m. And I believe this to be April the 29th. Okay? And Darian, he tells her like, chill with that gay shit, bruh. Stupid as shit. I don't even know what to say to you. I'll wait till you get home. Answer the phone. It's an emergency. Dude, answer the phone. You childish for having your mom's call me. Headed to the emergency room. Okay, first off, it made me think about that whole shit like Brittany, like I found out he was sending pictures to a man, this, that, and the other. And one of the things that, I was talking to a couple of my friends about, I'm like, this nigga, for all we know, he could have had this little female friend that they found out that he was fucking with. He could have had her in his phone as a nigga. Like instead of it being Tanya, he had it in his phone as Todd type shit. So he's sending these little nasty pictures and you think he's sending it to a nigga, but it's actually a bitch on the other side of that. But those were the games that we played when we were kids. I know I did.
Or 54, I'm starting to think that this is a fake ass argument that she picked with that nigga right after she left. If she ever left. She left, yeah, she have an itinerary that we gonna show y'all later, but I'm starting to think she picked a fake ass fight with him. Period.
I'll wait till you get home. Of course, that means she ain't at home. So where was she? Now, he told her in these text messages, he said, you childish for having your moms call me. Now, understand this. We already know that Brittany went to her mama house on Monday, the 29th, to wash clothes. That's why I'm thinking that's where she was when this whole shit is going on. Okay? Because at some point, she had her mama call him. Okay? And then right up under that, on Tuesday, April the 30th, the first text message between them came in at 2:22 from Brittany. Okay? And Brittany says, Maleah package is at the house. And he responds back, no, I didn't see it. And I'm like, okay, so we know he came back with Maleah at 7:54 in the morning. We know he went to work at 8:53. Okay? And we still ain't really clear about when the fuck Brittany left. But we got Brittany telling us that he only stayed at work for an hour. I remember I was confused about that. Like, shit, how the fuck you know that? How you know? If you was supposed to be gone already. Because, understand this. The first text message that came through on Tuesday between them two came in at 2:22 in the afternoon. Okay? And Brittany's asking about Maleah's package. Okay, so yeah, let's look at some more of these texts.
What fucking package? They talking in cold word. It was not really no fucking package. Reason why I say it wasn't really no fucking package, we ain't seen not a UPS, not a postman, not a nothing pop up on that fucking doorstep.
See it. And then she sent him a screenshot of the tracking information. And if you look at the bottom, it says that the package was
UPS
delivered on 4/30/2019 at 12:21. And then she said, did they deliver it to a different fucking address? And so understand this. Now, Brittany claims she don't know why he was only at work for an hour. But she's texting this motherfucker as if she knows he's home. Because she said, what do you mean you don't see him? And what that sound like to me, like she's like, this nigga's at home, okay?
She knew he was there.
I wanted to know, me being me, I wanted to know what it was. Because we didn't know if this was code for some shit going on with Maleah or what. But I wanted to know what it was. So guess what I did? I tracked the package. I tracked it.
He tracked the package.
What I found was, excuse me, what I found was this package came from China. Okay? And it must have been ordered somewhere maybe around like the 11th or the 12th of April. But it wasn't due to arrive at her house until the 30th. And then, you know, I was like I was wondering what it was. What was it? So when I clicked on product details, all it said was small packets. And I'm like, small packets? Small packets of what? What the hell did she order from China? What the hell did you get from overseas from Maleah? Okay? That's what I wanted to know. But again, she's talking to him as if she knows he's home.
Because her ass is home. Keys?
So, you don't think they had a conversation about why the fuck he wasn't at work? At some point. Brittany played us like she ain't know. I wonder why. So, yeah, let's look at the rest of this shit. So then she tells him about putting up some food that she left out for Jeanette ass. And then this part of the conversation get weird as hell. Because then Brittany says, why you say that? I might have it too. What the doctor say? And then Darian responded, my blood sugars are high, higher than normal. And she was like, oh wow, what else they say? He said, I have AKI. What's that? Brittany said. I gotta go see my doctor, acute kidney infection. Now, like I said, this was weird as hell, and I don't know, it almost kind of felt like we was missing some shit, like some shit's missing. But, you know, because I'm like, when Brittany said, I might have it too, like, bitch, have what? I just showed y'all the beginning of the text message.
She thought he had a disease.
Yeah, that part got confused.
She thought he had a disease.
He talking about his blood sugar.
When he started talking about his blood sugar, it fucked her up. When she said, what did the doctor say? I might have it too. She wasn't expecting for him to say, oh, my sugar was high and all that. She already jumped out the window and said, I might have it too. Instead of waiting for him to say what she asked the first place, what did this doctor say? She jumped the gun and said, I might have it too. What the fuck y'all got? Y'all passing around over there.
Tell us that. Like, yeah, this part was confusing as hell to me. What y'all think? And don't forget that this text message exchange is happening April the 30th. Okay? Maleah's home. She's home. And we know she didn't go to the daycare after this because Brittany's sister sent her a text message asking her if Maleah was in daycare on May 1st. And Brittany said no. So I don't know what the hell's going on April the 30th, okay? But Maleah did not go to the daycare after that. And like, what pissed me off about this is that when I look at those text messages between Brittany and her sister, the whole time, Brittany's claiming she don't know where Darian is. They trying to get his Apple ID so they can track his phone. She don't know shit. She ain't telling her sister shit. But Brittany didn't tell her sister that at some point she met up with Darian because she was able to take these.
She was the one that took the pictures of his body.
He was arrested on May the 11th and been in there ever since. So sometime between the 4th and the 11th, Brittany did meet back up with him because she was able to take these pictures. And then not only that,
and I told y'all in my last
right here, y'all.
I told y'all my last thing that them shits look old.
This news article put out by Click2 Houston says that a recently uncovered warrant calls for the cell phone records of Maleah's mother, Brittany Bowens. And I was like, what? But then these motherfuckers came back and said a previous version of this article said a warrant for Brittany Bowens' phone records was obtained, which is not correct. That information has been removed from the article.
Yes.
Okay.
They never had a warrant for her phone.
But
too many bloopers from the news.
Further into this article, it says, according to court documents, Bowens' phone was found in the family's abandoned car the night Maleah was reported missing. Are they taking that shit back too? Was that a lie or is that the truth? Her phone was found in the car? I'm gonna need them to clear this shit up.
How her phone was found in the car and we getting all these text messages? How her phone found in the car when her sister is texting her? Unless she had two phones.
I mean, we relying on this information, okay? So, did Brittany have more than one phone?
Yep.
Or is this not the truth? Yeah. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments about this shit, man. We gotta get to the bottom of this. It seems like this case is getting crazier and crazier every day. Every day. Then, you know, we got Jeanette ass. She didn't, I gotta show y'all this before I go. Jeanette then started this nonprofit organization called Dear Maleah. And it's in Jeanette's name.
Now,
like, who the hell approved this shit?
Now, this part is funny because my daughter bought me a live today. And honey, the live was crazy. The live was real crazy. Now, I got everything set up so I can just look at all of the videos. But we're going to go to Leak Use first. And then we're going to go back to Mike's. That's Mike Larry from All Access Viral over there. I like the AVGs. Yeah, we don't be playing over there. But this is Leak Use. And Leak Use showed something. And she pinpointed something real quick. And I found it funny once she did it. It was like, what? I didn't get it. But now, see, my phone is playing. This is what I wanted to show y'all. That's on Leak You. Leak You, thank you for pointing something out. Because like I said, that's Darian. And he's standing in front of their patio, right? And I think he's smoking a cigarette. Then he comes out with the kids.
With just two children. There's no Maleah there. So now I slowed it down. I kept the same frame, but just watch what he does. He's on the phone. He's smoking a cigarette. He's going to put the cigarette out. Now, here's one thing I want to point out about the surveillance footage, and I pointed this out before. Remember how Brittany said that Darian snuck Maleah home on April 30th, and the whole time that she was there before she left for the airport, she didn't even know Maleah was in the house? a lot of people did not pick up on this. Even other people that have been doing stories on the Maleah Davis case have come to me and they're like, I didn't even pick up on that. I didn't even realize that she was even home when Maleah came home on April 30th with Darian Vince. Because the way the surveillance footage looked, it was almost as if Darian Vince brought Maleah home and that was it. And, then she's never seen again. But no, that's not what happened. He brought her home. Brittany was home. He turned around and left almost an hour later to go to work. And then he came back about an hour and a half later. But for some reason, Brittany doesn't want us to believe that she was home the morning that Darian brought Maleah Davis back home on April the 30th, the day she disappeared. And the only reason I can think of it and why she would continue to lie about that, and even still lying right now to this day, is the fact that maybe she did something. Maybe she's the one that did something. And I also wonder if the leaked text messages that I showed you guys the other day was them talking in code. We're going to go over those really, really quick again, but I want you to understand that in those leaked text messages, Brittany says that she smokes out on her patio. This is her patio, where he's about to put this cigarette out at, right here where my mouse is. That is her patio. Maleah and Darian were walking across the courtyard here, and they walked into her apartment down the sidewalk. She said she seen Darian but didn't see Maleah. That is impossible. Your patio is facing the area they were coming from. So let me continue to let this surveillance video play. You're going to see he puts the cigarette out right there on their patio. Oh, he's on that phone. He dumps the cigarette over the patio. Some people thought he was doing something nefarious there.
Yeah, I do. I think so, Leak You. Because if that's your patio, right? And you put your cigarette out on the wood on the outside of the patio, right? And you're smoking outside of your patio, right? Could you please tell me why then he put the cigarette that he put out, he tosses it over on to his patio? Y'all not understanding. He tossed it over onto his patio. Why? Why would he toss that cigarette onto his patio? So, when you go outside, when you're in your house and you go outside on your patio, you're going to see that cigarette. Why would he then toss that cigarette out and put that cigarette over his patio so it can be on his patio when he goes in the house? Like, I didn't understand that part, y'all. I really didn't understand that. It was crazy to me. And I'm starting to think homegirl was home then. I'm sorry.
Someone mentioned he was talking to Maleah. I'm like, no, he literally just dumped the cigarette over the patio and dropped it over, and dumped it over there. And then he's going to walk out with only 2 children. Now, this was May the 2nd at 7:25 a.m. Okay? We're going to see him walk out here in a second with 2 children. And that's his youngest son he has with Brittany, and that's the oldest son, and I'll refrain from speaking his name. But here you go. That's him leaving. And some people were like, what's that white beret? That's not a beret. That's not a girl. That's a boy. That is Brittany's oldest. So here's the close-up. You see him on the phone. You see him blowing smoke out. You see he's going to go put that cigarette out on this patio, and he's going to throw that cigarette butt over the patio. Okay.
He throws it onto the patio.
And then he's going to go back in, and then he's going to come back out, and then that's where I really zoomed in so you could see who he walks out with. So number 1, that is his little 1-year-old. He's carrying the child. It's obvious that this is a much younger child, okay? And here comes the second child behind him, okay? Now look really closely here. Tennis shoes, okay? We're gonna let this go a little more. That is not a beret. That is, I don't know if there's like some white on this kid's backpack, or if the backpack itself is white, but this is a boy. This is not Maleah Davis, okay? This is not Maleah. And people were actually thinking that this was Maleah Davis. So, you know, I wanted to, and there's even a more close-up, okay? As you can see, that is not Maleah. That is a young man. That is a little boy, okay? There's no barrette there, guys. That's just his backpack. So this is the, you know, the enhanced surveillance footage. You're interested in going to look at that, feel free to go to my page. It's there.
Now I'm on Leak U's page. Shout out to Leak U, because let me tell you something. She pointed out a lot of things that make sense, and I couldn't put two and two together. But then as I thought about it, somebody said, no, go to her page, Eve. She put two and two together for you already. What you thinking is what she already put in her video. So I go to Leak U's page, and for sure, that's why I was like, how is she gonna say she never seen Maleah come back in the house if you on the patio smoking, and you already said that you seen him come back in the house, and Leak U gonna show you blow by blow exactly what the hell's going on. The same thing I was thinking, the same thing Leak U put up there. It's just crazy. It's just crazy. There's a whole lot of bullshit going on. A whole lot. The messages is just a lot. I want her to go back to those messages, though. Let's see. What's she talking about?
Him carrying that basket with that black trash bag in it, May the 3rd, around 6:30 in the evening. He said he was on his way to pick his Brittany up, but he really left and went to Arkansas. And that is a 6-hour drive just to get there. And another 6 hours coming back.
Yep.
Not to include the time in between for stops.
He knew Brittany killed that girl.
Wasn't going to pick her up at that damn airport. And she kept trying to claim, I waited for him at that airport for 2 hours. And she made this really big deal about the fact that he never showed up to pick her up. So one of the things that really jumped out to me was whenever she was asked if there was any pictures of Darian, Brittany responded and said, nah, man, I wish he had all pics in his phone, and I had more in my old phone.
These are all the text messages
now,
between
my
her
thing is if you
and her
lost your
friend.
phone on May the 3rd, why does she refer to, nah, man, I wish he had all pics in his phone? As if you have the phone. You get what I'm saying? The way that she words this, she's making it sound as if there's no pictures on his phone.
She's talking about this one right here, guys.
Or do you guys read that as well? The same way.
She's talking about that one right there.
Do you have any recent pics of him or ones that show tattoos on his arms? Been looking for him as well. He needs to be found, too, for more questioning, and now he has went MIA. This is before he got arrested. And then she says, no, man, I wish he had all pics in his phone. To me, that says she has his phone. It's not missing. To me, that text tells me she actually has his phone. And I'll tell you one thing. If that phone has been turned on since May 3rd, believe me, the cell phone records are going to prove it. I don't care. If they just turned the phone on, the cell phone records are going to show that. So anyway, her friend says, I don't like the way the media is portraying you, but this is where Brittany gets into this alibi that she keeps trying to put out there for everybody to believe. She says she didn't do anything. She says she can't even go search for her daughter because she feels threatened. And she feels like she's been set up by that B who she was talking about, Darian. And then when she was asked, how do you feel like he set you up? You have an alibi. You were out of town. And she really was out of town, guys. This has been verified with you know, the airline. The police verified that she did go out of town. Her sister, Natasha, verified that she did and was at her home. And if you guys haven't seen the interview with her sister, Natasha, you need to go watch that. Tanika's News and More did an interview with her and dropped some text messages with her. And then All Access Viral Media did another interview with her yesterday. And so Brittany says, no, it's not that. The problem is I can't prove that this dude snuck her back in without me effing knowing she was there is the issue. I have proof of everything else, but I effing can't prove that ish. And if I can find this dude, I'd rip his head off my damn self. The more info I find from the cops, the more I sit here and think, the more I think about how this dude set this shit up. Now, when she was asked where was Maleah, supposed to be, what day did he sneak her in? What are you talking about? Where was she supposed to be at? She said she was supposed to be at daycare. Really, Brittany? If she was supposed to be at daycare, then why is Darian bringing her home that morning? Okay, now the next page is where it really gets crazy. She said she was supposed to be at daycare, but he snuck her in the house when I wasn't around, and I didn't see her come in. I only saw him. The fact that she said I didn't see her come in, I only saw him, really? Let me do the same search that I've been doing almost every live. Does this look like somebody that's trying to sneak somebody into the house? Like she is so far back from him in this picture, and this is the courtyard, and that surveillance video I was talking about. The porch is
and
over
the
here.
patio is right
How
there.
How does she see Darian but not see Maleah? How? I don't get it. If he was trying to hide and sneak her into the house, wouldn't he be holding her?
Let me just say this. Brittany Davis thought she was being fucking smart. Brittany Bowen, whatever the fuck her name is. The mother of Maleah. She thought she was being smart. Trying to outdo Big Brother. And forgot that Big Brother was hanging right over her doorstep the whole damn time. Okay? Because she would have never even played herself and said, I didn't see Maleah. I think they forgot about that camera that was sitting up top of their fucking home that whole time. Because after a while, you're not going to think to look up to look at no camera. And if they've been living here for a long time, then they're not thinking about that camera no more. She talked so fucking fast out her ass. She didn't realize, oh shit, the camera was going to catch it. Until then she started seeing that the pictures of the last photos of Maleah is with the boyfriend. If you on the patio over here, the patio is right there. He's here. Brittany is right there. I mean, Maleah is right there. How can you not? You can see him, but can't see her. You a liar. And she's been lying. She's been lying, y'all, for a minute now. She's lying. And I really do think she had that man's cell phone for a minute. 1 minute, the news saying that they was going to get a search warrant or something for they can get the phone records and this and this and that. And the next minute, they took it back. And I'm starting to believe this case is just one of those cases and one of them creepy cases. Remember the Kanika Jenkins case, y'all? And everybody seemed like they was involved. And come to find out, everybody was really involved. I believe the whole town was fucking involved. And I'm starting to believe. And it's sad to say it, but I'm starting to believe a lot of people is involved with covering this shit up. Reason why I say that is because the cops will say one thing and the news reporters will say something totally different. Now, she just says she seen him, but she didn't see her. And he snuck her back in the house. Like Leak you just said. This ain't no sneak. Y'all only got one way in and one way out your house, boo. Because if he was really trying to sneak her, why would he sneak her back in knowing that you here? Knowing that you there. If he really wanted to do something to her. If Notice how I said he. If he wanted to do something to her, he could have just waited till she left. He knew her flight information. He knew what time she was leaving. Why bring her back in the house while the mother's there? That just don't sound right. Do you understand where I'm going? I only have one way in my house. I'm going to bring a child that's going to make noise. And she's looking like she's just, skipping through and running and doing all of that. Why would he sneak? How could he possibly? He ain't got no duct tape on her. If this was a sneak tactic, he would be holding her close at least. He not holding her close. He not doing none of that. What I believe is happening is, I believe she started to think that Darian was going to get off. So she started, and people was going to start looking at her from that court case. Remember when they attacked her outside the courtroom and everybody was calling her all types of names and the girls wanted to fight her? Remember that? I'm starting to think she figured, fuck that, I'm going to pin all this shit on him. You understand? Because he came back home with her. Not thinking about Big Brother in the sky. Not thinking you was going to talk so fast out your ass. We don't believe you, Brittany. And I'm starting to believe that she killed him. She killed the little girl. And being that it's in his house, she convinced him to get rid of the body to make it look good. Now, they're saying that they want some type of mental evaluation with him while he's in jail because he went to Cornell X. Well, when Cornell X came to the jail, he told Cornell X that he killed Maleah and this, that, and the third. And then when the other guy interviewed him, he said, no, I didn't. I didn't tell him that. This, that, and the third.